So you don't need to know which jhana you're in, but you can feel the difference as you advance. You feel that your mind becomes calmer and calmer, and all the mental activities become less and less. You can feel that. You don't have to put a marking on, oh, this is probably the first jhana, this is probably the second jhana, so forth. You don't do this during your meditation, but you can do it after you come out. You can review it later on. Oh, I was there, it was like that. Maybe let me check with the text, the scripture, to see where that is, or something like that. You can do that afterwards. But during meditation, you don't want to do any analysis. You just want to keep focus. Okay.
Thank you, Dhammatalk.
Is that all for now?
That's all for now, yeah.
Next is Kwan Liman from Indonesia. Kwan Liman. I think.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm from Malaysia, Ajahn.
Okay. You got any question?
Yes, Ajahn. When the mind is quiet and happy, I tend to absorb in that quietness and stop noting the activities that I'm doing. Ajahn, may I ask if I should continue to note every activities, like I'm eating, I'm washing the plate, or can I just do the activities in the quiet mind?
Better if you can do it in the quiet mind without noting it. But if your mind still think about other things, you might use noting to stop it from thinking about other things. But you don't need to note, just be aware of what you do. And then don't let your mind go think about other things.
Yes. Ajahn, if the mind stops thinking for a while, then it becomes lazy to think. So the mind is quiet and I just do the activities. But when I want to think, I do not. It disturbs the quietness, and I tend not to think.
It depends on what you're doing, what you want from your practice. If you want a quiet mind, a calm mind, then you stop thinking.
Yes. But it will automatically just quiet and just do the activities. So,
yeah, just do the activities that you don't need to think without thinking. But if the activity requires thinking, then you have to think. Like if you are doing some accounting, for instance, so you have to think. If you do some planning or something like that, then you have to think. But otherwise, try not to think. If the activity doesn't require any thinking, then don't think.
okay.
Just be merely observing or knowing, just watching. You want to control your thoughts. You want to be able to stop your thoughts, because your thought will lead you to defilement and eventually dukkha. So if you're not thinking, then there will be no defilement, no dukkha. Temporarily, this is not a permanent solution. This is the first step of solving your mental problem by being able to stop your thinking. Next step is to direct your thinking to think with wisdom, to think with anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then this will eliminate your defilements and dukkha permanently. Like your body, if you want to think of your body, think that it's anicca, it's impermanent. It's gonna get old, get sick and die. It is anatta, it's not you, not yourself. It's made from the four elements, and it's gonna return to the four elements. You are just the mind who's observing the body, who's studying the nature of the body, so that the mind can then let go of its attachment to the body. When there's no attachment to the body, then there will be no defilement, no dukkha. If you think this is the way you should think, if you're developing samadhi, then you don't think. But when you develop vipassana, you have to think in terms of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay.
So Ajahn, may I ask again? So if when I'm doing vipassana, if there is no thoughts, so I don't think until there is a thought that comes, and then I start thinking.
No, when you want to develop vipassana, you have to think. You have to study the nature of the body. Look at the body. Ask yourself, is the body permanent or not permanent? It is changing or not changing? Can you control your body? Can you keep your body with you forever? If it belongs to you or not? So this is something you have to teach your mind, to let go of the attachment to the body. You can do it when you want, whenever you want to. When you are doing mindfulness, when you don't want to think, then you don't need to do this thing yet. It depends on what you are doing at that moment. If you want to stop your thoughts and not want to think, then you don't do vipassana. You are doing mindfulness and samadhi. So you have to know what you are you doing, because these are two separate practices, samadhi and vipassana.
So Ajahn, when I'm sitting, then the mind can calm down easily and quiet down easily. So when I'm not doing sitting, when I'm doing vipassana, then when every opportunity comes that I can investigate into the body and mind, then I start thinking. Otherwise, I can just keep in the quiet state.
Yes, you can do that. You can do either one. You can think vipassana, or you can just keep the mind calm and not thinking.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Nanapat from Thailand. Nanapat, you have any question?
Tonight I have the question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ Do I have to ensure my mindfulness and samadhi before I move to ordination to make sure that I don't give up before I reach the target?
Well, if you have samadhi, the likelihood of disrobing is very, very small. If you don't have samadhi, if you cannot control your mind to be calm, then you might be overwhelmed by your sexual desire or sensual pleasure desire, to the point where you will not be able to remain enrolled. So it will be good if you can have samadhi before you ordain. But if you have to wait until that, you might not be able to ordain, because you don't know when you're gonna. Because there's a paradox here. When you're not ordained, you don't have the time to do the samadhi. So it's hard for you as a layperson to develop samadhi unless you have past ability that you have developed, that you could easily enter into samadhi while you are still a layperson. But if you keep waiting, and as a layperson, your ability to develop samadhi is not as great as being a monk or someone who ordained. So you have to decide for yourself. I cannot answer this question. It's a personal thing. it is good if you can have samadhi. Whether you're ordained or not ordained, samadhi will enable you to be happy without having to rely on your sensual objects. But if you have no samadhi, your mind will just keep going out, going toward the sensual objects to keep it happy. Okay.
Okay, so I have to don't waste the time, practice every time I can do, right? And if I ready, so I will investigate again that I can go that or not, right?
You can also do a temporary retreat. You can go live in a monastery for 3 months first to see how, or if you can somehow find the time to go and stay in a monastery before you do it permanently. See whether you can live in a monastery or not. And if you think you can, then maybe you can then just stay there permanently.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you for your teaching.
Next, Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Professor.
Hello, Tanajan.
Teaching today? Not yet.
Yes, I've been teaching. We have a new semester now.
Let's see.
We have face-to-face teaching again.
In class now, in person.
Yeah, it's all normal, except they have to have a certificate.
Vaccine or vaccination or?
Yeah, either vaccinated or recovered or tested.
I see. Okay.
So everyone has a certificate.
Do you have to put mask on in your class?
Yeah, we still have to wear masks, and but apart from that, it's pretty much normal again, normal teaching. Ajahn, I may like to ask a question.
Please go ahead.
Regarding letting go of things or people or whatever, just to check the practice. I think for a long time, when I kind of had the goal or the expectation of trying to let go of things through the practice, it tended not to happen, or very slowly. But when I just simply focus completely on the meditation object and don't worry about letting go, then I've been finding that things automatically tend to just go. Some things are quite slow and some things go quite quickly. So my question is that the right way to do it? Just forget about any ideas of letting go and focus entirely on the meditation object?
When you focus on your meditation object, you're letting go of everything temporarily. But you cannot do this all the time, right? You have to come out and then you have to meet people and things. And so the way to deal with this when you come out from your focusing is to use Vipassana. You have to teach yourself that everything that you have or possess or being involved with are bad for you. If you can see that, then you can let go right away. If you still think they are good for you, you don't want to let go. So there's a trick there. How can you look at everything and see that it's bad for you and it's not really good for you? Because our delusion keeps telling us that these things are good for us. Right? It's because they give us pleasure. But you have to look deeper and say, how long will this pleasure last? Is it forever, or is it going to be interrupted or disappear one day, sooner or later? When you have to to investigate the impermanent nature of everything that you possess, that you are involved in. And then you'll see that they're not long last, they're not forever. Sooner or later, they're gonna change, they're gonna disappear. So then what happens? Then that's when you will feel bad. Then that's when you know that it's bad for you. But by that time, it will be too late. So this is what you have to try to see everything that they eventually will hurt you. Maybe not now. Now they are good. They are well. They are performing what they're supposed to be doing. But you know that sooner or later they won't be able to do this. So you have to see the impermanent nature of everything that you want to let go. If you cannot see the impermanent nature of these things, then you cannot let go. If you still think, oh, they're gonna be with me all the time, they are reliable, they can always support me, give me happiness, then they look good to you that way. But if you say, if they're not gonna be like this all the time, they're not really reliable, then you'll start to see that can hurt you later on, when you cannot depend on them to make you happy again. So this is the permanent fix. But the temporary fix is just to focus on your meditation object. Even when you're not meditating, you can use a mantra to pull your mind away from things that you are involved in, that you are attached to. But this is temporary, because as soon as you stop focusing on your meditation object, your delusion will still tell you that all these things are good for you. So you have to counter it with Vipassana, and everything is bad for you. Sooner or later, maybe not now, but later they will be bad for you. They will hurt you.
Okay.
Is this clear enough?
Yes, that's very helpful, Tanajan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You don't have to worry about letting go. Just you have to worry about seeing them as being hurtful to you, bad for you, not good for you.
Yes.
Once you know the drink that you drink contains poison, you won't drink it, right?
Yeah.
That's why we have lots of products pulled out from the market, because eventually some researcher identify that they are cancer causing or something, then they have to be removed from the market. But without research, everybody think, oh, it's good taste, good drinks, and so forth. But then somebody come out and say, after the research, they find that this will cause cancer in the stomach or in the liver. Then you will stop drinking that product right away. And this is what you have to see, that everything will hurt you, because everything will change or will end. And when that happens, it will leave you empty, leave you without happiness. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
This is the method of Vipassana. See the impermanence. See the dukkha. Dukkha means it's bad for you, right? Anatta, you cannot always make them good for you. Sometimes they just change, and you cannot stop them from changing or disappearing. So this is the three characteristics of everything.
Yes.
Human or animate or inanimate, all the same, they change. Some change quick, some change slowly. The ones that change slowly, it might appear to us that they are not changing at all. Like the mountain, they always exist. But who knows, if you can live for 1 million years, you might see the change in the mountains as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Belinda from Singapore. You are next.
Ajahn. I'm listening in.
Okay. All right. Then Ms. Anuragi from New Zealand.
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Great.
Yeah, thank you for your teaching and really inspiring. Yeah, I don't have any questions, Ajahn, today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. Same, no question today. Just
Okay.
listen.
All right. Karen from San Jose.
Good morning from San Jose, Tana John. I wanted to just mention thank you for talking to me about Kasina. I've been looking into that, and I decided to try looking at the color red, but the color kept changing and it was giving me a headache trying to bring it back to red all the time. So it's funny, I decided to just focus on the breath after all, and I've been meditating a lot more, and I tell myself, just watch the breath, you'll learn. And that's working for me after all.
Yeah, it's easier to see something that's already there than trying to create the things in your mind, because your mindfulness is not strong enough. Your mind doesn't want to do what you want it to do. It keeps doing what it wants to do. So there's a conflict there when you try to do this. But with the breath, it's easier. But it's not always easy also, because sometimes your mind wants to go somewhere else or something. So you have to keep pulling it back. Say, come back here, stay with the breath. Don't go think about John or Jim or Jack. Just come back.
Yes, thank you. I had a question about walking meditation. I have been finding that to be so much easier than sitting, but I'm sitting anyway, and I'm sitting a lot more every day. But the walking meditation is like heaven for me. I'm able to just have a calm mind and just make sure I don't make sure I pay attention to my feet, but just focus on my breathing and be mindful, and I'm really enjoying that. So I wonder if there are any particular tips or information about walking meditation that you could share.
See, when you walk, there is less restraint on the mind. The mind can still move around with your feet, see, with your body. So it doesn't feel restrained as much as like sitting. When you're sitting, the mind cannot do anything at all, just only watch the breath or think about something else. Yeah. So you'll find it a lot harder to sit than walking. But this is okay, this is normal for most people. When they still don't have strong enough mindfulness, they use walking meditation to develop stronger mindfulness. And then after you're walking long enough, you feel that you'll be ready to sit. One of the reasons is also that after you're walking for a while, you feel tired, right? So it's easy for you to sit then. So you have to release a lot of energy from your body first by doing the walking meditation.
Okay. And I've been getting up every day at 4 when it's quieter, and that's really helping. The only problem is my dog. I have a dog and she distracts me. So that's difficult. So I think that's maybe partly why walking meditation is easier. I don't take her with me. I don't have that distraction in my apartment.
Yeah, if she barks or make any noise, just try to treat it like a natural noise, like the like thunder or something. and try not to stop that noise. Just leave her alone. It will not bother you.
It's I noticed that there are dogs that bark where you are, and I wondered how you dealt with that.
Just leave them alone. Let them bark, because you cannot force them to stop barking.
Right.
Then, then your mind will become attuned to the barking and not be disturbed. See? But when you try to want it to stop, then you are not in tune with the barking. You are in conflict with the barking, and that causes agitation in your mind.
Okay, I understand that. I'm able to do that with other sounds.
Yeah.
So I'll just work on also. She doesn't bark, but she doesn't like it when I'm meditating, and she'll just move around to try and make me wake up.
You might have to put her in the bathroom when you meditate.
Yeah, I have a crate for her that I can put her in. I think I'll have to do that. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Is that all for today? For now?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank
Okay.
you very much.
Next, Coxing from Singapore.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. Yeah, I have a question tonight, and the question is regarding the first precept. I think the precept to abstain from killing, and I have some friends who are following the Mahayana Buddhist tradition. So to those friends who are following that tradition, they feel that as a Buddhist we should be a vegetarian and refrain from eating meat. And so I'm not a vegetarian, and my defense to sometimes they ask, oh, why you are not a vegetarian? Is that I told them that, oh, even the Buddha was not a vegetarian. So I like to state, Ajahn, what should be our correct understanding regarding vegetarian with regards to the first precept of not killing?
Well, I think people who are vegetarian, they think that by eating vegetables will stop killing of other animals. Because if you eat meat, then you encourage people to go kill animals to sell the meat to you. That's the idea. But we look at a bigger picture. Whether animals are killed for meat or not, they die anyway, right? Once they are born, they will be dead one way or the other, whether you kill them or they die of natural causes. So this doesn't really solve anything here. As far as eating vegetarian food is concerned, you still cannot stop. You can still not stop death in animals. Animals die anyway, whether you kill them for meat or you don't kill them for meat. And eating meat or eating vegetable doesn't make any difference as long as you don't kill. See, when you kill it, it affects your mind. It causes your mind to become sad, become unhappy, become guilty. Yeah. So this is what we look at when we keep the precept, is the effect it has on our mind. It will make our mind darker or worse. Not happy, not happy. But of course, we must not kill animal for food. But if there are animals that has been killed and sell in the market, if you want to eat, you want to buy them, it's not breaking the first precept.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes to me is that the way I interpret the first precept is that we take the training to refrain from killing. So things like the house ants in our house, the house lizard, and so forth. So we refrain from killing any ants or any cockroaches or any lizards in our own house. So as long as we are able to do that, we are keeping the precepts. And therefore, whether being a vegetarian or not vegetarian, vegetarian is not that important. That is my understanding.
Okay. As long as you don't kill, then it doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you don't kill. Some people eat vegetarian food, but they still keep killing mosquitoes and ants. So that's worse. Yeah, that's worse than people eating meat, dead meat that they bought from the market, but they don't kill mosquitoes or ants. Yeah. So look at the action, not what you eat. Look at the action of killing, whether you kill or not kill. Or even ask somebody else to kill for you. This is also considered to be breaking the precept. Like if you go to the fish market and they have live fish and you say, okay, I like this fish, but can you kill it for me before I take it home? This is also considered to be breaking the first precept. Whether you do it on yourself or ask somebody else to do it for you, is considered to be breaking the precept. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Adeline and Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Anything on your mind? Nothing on your mind today?
I don't have any questions. Yes. But Adeline has a question.
I just have a quick question because I was listening into my daughter's Dhamma class and they were sharing about kindness and being kind and all that. But lately, because there's so many bad things happening in the world, sometimes you wonder, like, if you were to stop your car for, say, helping someone across the road, something bad may come, someone would jump into your car and take your car away. Would that be considered as, like, trying to do good and at the same time bad karma taking into effect?
Well, you have to be circumspect in what you do. Whatever you do, like helping other people, you also want to make sure that by helping them, it doesn't hurt you.
Okay.
If it's gonna hurt you, then you have to pass by. You have to pass and look for other opportunity next time. If helping this person and this person ends interrupting you, for instance, then you don't want to help that person. If you feel this person looks suspicious and you're not sure whether this person will harm you or not, then you can just skip for now and help somebody whom you feel safe.
Like doing dana and different.
Yeah, right. And under different circumstances, you don't have to help everybody all the time. Every time you see somebody needs help, because sometimes they can be fooling you. They will be pretending that they need help, but in fact they want something else.
Correct. Okay.
So you have to be careful when you're helping other people. Sometimes because of your desire to do kindness, and when you cannot do it, you feel bad.
Yes.
But you have reason to not to do. See, so you use reason, then you won't feel bad. So if I do this, and what happened if something happens to me?
Okay. All right. That's the only question I have tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Monica Chen from Malaysia also.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear something else also in the background.
Yes, my daughter is going to having a meeting.
Okay.
Downstairs.
I see. Kind of loud.
So happened, she's during that session of talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Actually, I was running through the Satipatthana Sutta. There was this when we are supposed to observe the breath, and until we realize that there is a body in the body, internally and externally. So I was trying to figure out what does it mean.
Don't worry about it. Don't just practice, and then you'll see it for yourself what the Buddha means. Don't try to imagine when you are not there yet. Just keep focusing on your breath. That's all you need to do. Then everything else will become clear to you eventually.
Is this Vipassana or is this?
No, it's just his description of how the mind will experience when doing this type of meditation. So just do the focus. Just keep concentrating on your breath and get it to become calm down. Yeah. Because what you really need is just the mind to become still, to become calm, and you be happy with the calmness and upekkha. That's all you want from this practice of meditation. Other information, other things, you might know, you might not know, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I find lately because there's so many dramatic events, the mind tends to find it difficult to settle down. It's quite lately the calmness seems to be very difficult to come in. Then I was referring to this Kenneth question. Like when we have this desire for this calmness, can this also, if the desire, the chanda is too strong, can it be an obstacle to the practice?
No, if you apply at the right time, you should have chanda before you practice. Like when you want to watch TV and you should have this chanda to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
If you have chanda to meditate, then you stop watching TV and then you start meditating. But as soon as you start meditating, you should have chanda because your chanta has achieved the purpose already, is to get you to meditate. So once you meditate, you have to now focus on your meditation object and nothing else.
Okay.
So you have to know when to use it and when to not to use it. Using it at the wrong time can be a hindrance to your practice. Like when you're focusing on your breath and you keep wanting, will my mind become calm soon? How come it's not calm yet? This you don't want to do when you meditate. You don't want to think about calm or the result of your calm. You just want to focus on your meditation object. But if you, before meditate, you're deciding, should I watch TV or should I meditate? Then this is the time you should have chanta for meditation.
So the desire comes before the efforts.
The practice, yeah. Once you start practicing, then you don't need to have any desire because it's useless. It becomes a hindrance.
So it means we must bring the body back to the moment, what we should be doing.
Yeah, when you're doing meditation, you just have to meditate and not have no desire for the result of meditation. No need to have, because if you meditate, you'll get the result. If you don't meditate, you won't get the result, no matter how much you want the result.
Mm-hmm. So I think the mind is very greedy for shortcuts.
It's the defilement. It's the defilement.
Yes, true. I think, yeah. Okay, so it's a great wanting short way, shortcut, easy way. Okay. Yeah, I think the mind always doesn't want to meditate, but want the good stuff.
What's the result of meditation?
Yeah, true.
One jhana, one upekkha, one calm, peace, and so forth. But it doesn't want to focus on the meditation object.
True.
Keeps running away.
True. Because I remember I have asked my friend who asked you this question before. I go for retreat. When I'm at home, I want to go for retreat. But when I'm retreat, I want to come back home.
Yeah. Keep chasing after keep chasing after your thoughts.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Chasing after your shadow. The shadow always one step ahead of you.
Oh, my shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this type of thing happen, what should I do in that case?
Well, you have to find out what are you doing. If you're meditating and focus on your breath, if you're deciding should I watch TV or should I meditate, then you should use meditation is better, because that convince your mind that it's better to meditate than to watch TV.
I think I have to train my mind because from young I thought that having wild imagination is very good. So I used to think a lot and run around the whole world.
Good imagination is good. If you imagine keeping the precept, keeping the meditate and thinking in terms of Vipassana, this is a good imagination. Imagine yourself being old, being sick, and being dead, and eventually turn into ashes if you cremate your body. This is a good imagination.
Okay. Okay.
This will restrain your defilement.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah.
If you keep thinking of death, you say, what am I doing now? Why do I want to accumulate so much? In the end, I'm not taking anything with me. And why I'm living, I live with the suffering of trying to accumulate things. So you don't find happiness.
Yeah, I think it's a drag. At this age, it's a drag because it's very difficult to let go now. Yeah, with all the years of accumulation, very difficult to let go. Yeah. So I'm just so happy. I say I don't know how to let go.
Meditation is a way of letting go. So when you meditate, then you stop thinking about all your possessions temporarily. And during that time, anything happens to your possession doesn't bother your mind because you don't know anything when you meditate. You enter into this emptiness of your mind.
Yeah. It is difficult to attain. Very long time ago, once only. I was so happy. But after that, now very difficult. So I have to put in more effort there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia also.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any question tonight. Thanks.
Okay. Sri and Jack from Vancouver, Canada.
Good evening, Tanajan.
Hello, Tanajan.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
Good evening to me.
Ajahn, on your Q&A on Saturday, I think your Friday for me.
Saturday night for you. Saturday night for you.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Sunday for you, yeah. Right. Somebody asked you about like, is it higher merit to give to Arahan compared to a regular person? Yeah, I've heard your answer many times, and frankly, I think you're the only Ajahn that I heard giving the answer that's very rational. I mean, sorry, I don't mean that, but I mean, because I've studied the sutta before and also heard other talks before that usually they explain by saying, for example, there are 14 steps of the merit, like you give to animal is like times 100, and then give to somebody's times 1,000 and 100, something like that. But your answer is different, Ajahn. You said the feeling is the same no matter you give to a regular person or an arahant. But the difference is the arahant can give you the Dhamma, which is the most precious gift. And for me, that's brilliant.
See, when you give, you get two things, not just one thing. First thing, what you get is satisfaction in your mind. You feel happy by helping other people, giving something to other people. It makes you feel happy. This doesn't matter who you give. If you have the same intention toward that person or a different person, but you look at them as just helping them, like they need food. Whether you give it to a dog or you give it to an enlightened person, it's the same thing. You're helping them. When you're helping them, it makes you feel good. So this is what we call merit. But then there's the second part, is what you get from the person that you help. If you help a dog, feed a dog, the dog might look after your house for you, or bark when somebody tried to get into your house. That's all the dog can do for you, right? But if you give it to an enlightened person, he can teach you the Dhamma to make you become enlightened. So that's the difference. That's the difference when what you get from the person that you give. But the feeling that you get is the same. If you give the same amount, it'll be different if you give different amount, because the more you give, the more you sacrifice, then you feel better, you feel happier, because you're sacrificing more for the benefits of others. Then this depends on how much you give, not on the person who received your gift. Is how much you sacrifice your money or your wealth for the benefit of other people. So if you give, say, $10 and you give $100, that's a different feeling, right?
Right. See,
If it feels the same, then why give $100? Just give $10.
That's true. Yeah. See, to me, that's like, it's very so good. The expert, like, nobody explained like this, Ajahn, really. It's like, it's because we just take it literally what the sutta says, and then but nobody can explain
Sometimes they just refer to the person you give, what they can give you. Right. And in that case, they're different, because each person has different capability to pay back what you do for them.
Right.
So that's different, because if you feed a dog and you feed an Arahan, you get different things from the dog and from an Arahan.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, Ajahn. That's so good.
See, that's the problem from studying the scripture without the practice.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like when you explain it, it's like, wow, it's so different. Like it's so good. It makes so much sense. And
the sutta tell us the whole story.
Yeah.
Not really, just tell you the half of the story.
And I don't have the wisdom to understand it, but when you explain it, it's like, wow, it's like, it makes so much more sense.
Any question today for you?
Then Ajahn, like for practicing like anapanasati, so like we just have to focus on our in breath and out breath, right? So
at the tip of your nose, like watching TV, just watch the screen, just watch all the picture come and go. Just keep watching. Don't stray away from watching.
Okay, so when I don't stray away like from my breath, like eventually, like I have to increase my concentration at that point, so that we can concentrate on the breath.
If you persist on concentrating, watching your breath, your mind will become calmer and calmer. And eventually it will stop. You'll become still altogether.
Okay, and only the breath left.
And
But
then
just keep
once your
doing-
mind becomes still, then you don't have to do any focusing because your mind stop wandering. It doesn't go think about other things.
Okay. So until our mindfulness weaken, then we have to do it again and again, right? That is to improve our mindfulness.
You have to be constantly watching your breath when you meditate. But when after you meditate, you should continue on with your mindfulness. Keep focusing on what your body is doing, or keep reciting the mantra to bring the mind back to not thinking about other things.
Yeah.
So that when you meditate, you have strong mindfulness.
Yes. And then with strong mindfulness, it will help us to concentrate.
Yeah, and your mind can become calm very quickly and easily because there's no resistance from your defilement because you have been keeping them at bay when you maintain mindfulness.
Oh.
So you should be mindful all the time, before meditation, during meditation, after meditation, 24 hours a day, except when you go to sleep. The Buddha said mindfulness is essential, is necessary at all times, at all circumstances.
Yeah, we have to. I just keep reminding myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Ajahn, can I just mention? I saw from last week, Felicia Chen. I think she might need, if she needs help with
Translation. She's next
help.
to you. She's next to you on the screen.
Yeah, I can try to help if she needs. Just want to offer my help.
Okay. Okay, Felicia. You have any?
Good evening, Prajan. Today I don't have any question. I just want to update on my progress. Prajan, recently I can see my mindfulness getting stronger and my meditate is calmly and stable. The mind become very still and firm. I stay here and practice very long. I can get in and get out of samadhi anytime, anywhere. I enjoy meditate very much, and all day I feel very peaceful and happy. Sometimes I will forget today is what day.
Okay, that's good. Then you should then divide half of your time for Vipassana and half of your time for Samadhi. Keep your mind still half of the time, and then the other half of the time, teach your mind to study the nature of your body and about the body of everybody. Study the body as being impermanent, anicca, as being anatta, not yourself, and as being dukkha, because it can, if you are attached to your body, it can make you unhappy or sad or fearful when something happens to your body. So you want to teach your mind that the body is not you. The body is not the mind. The body will get old, get sick, and die. And there's nothing you can do to prevent or to stop this thing from happening. So that if you can teach your mind like this, then eventually your mind will then accept the truth of this impermanent nature of the body, the anatta nature of the body. Then you will not have any desire for it to be otherwise. You will accept aging, accept sickness, and accept death peacefully without having any qualm or any suffering. Can you do that? Try to do that.
Thank you, Prajan. I have to ask my daughter to explain for me. I have to look back the video. Sorry, because I asked for a question, I need to use Google Translate and write. and ask my daughter to make correction for me. Then I can I can ask. This is my bad karma.
Maybe Sri can translate into Chinese for her. Can you do that? I don't know. Maybe not the time to do it, because that would be other people won't be able to understand what you're talking about.
And then my happy also all language also not very good. All the time in my life I very seldom look for watching TV. Very seldom go shopping. That's why I very seldom mix around. That's why my English very slow.
Okay.
I have to ask my daughter to help me.
All right.
Thank you. Just now the sister can give me the offer to help me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, Sadhu.
Sadhu.
Thank you very much, Prajan.
You're welcome.
And thank you, that sister. Sorry, my English is not good. Thank you very much for you. You give me the help. Sadhu.
Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. No questions from me tonight. Just happy to be listening in.
Okay, thank you for coming in. Next, B. Ravin Chindaporn from Bangkok.
Good evening to you, Tanajan. I have a question today regarding the Noble Eightfold Path. It's regarding right view. Could Tanajan please explain how we can develop right view? And from reading in the text, I found that they said there were 2 levels of right view, but I don't quite understand what they are. So maybe could you provide some clarity for me, please?
Well, the right view, generally the view that we are the products of our karma. See? Whether we do good or bad karma, we'll receive the consequence of the good and bad karma. If we do good karma, when we die, we'll go to the heavenly realms of existence. If we do bad karma, we go to the undesirable realm of existence, like being born as animal, or being hungry ghost, or being angry ghost, which is hell. This is the result of doing good or bad karma. So this is one level of right view. And because we are doing action all the time, right? We do karma all the time. And the karma we generally do are usually, there are 3 types: good karma, bad karma, and neutral karma. And they all have consequences. In terms of rebirth, if you do good karma, you will be reborn as angels in heaven. If you do bad karma, you will be reborn as animals or as angry ghosts in hell. And if you do neutral karma, you will be reborn as human beings. So this is the basic understanding of Buddhism, the law of karma. And this law of karma also can be refined to the Four Noble Truths also. This is a higher level of understanding. Yeah. Your dukkha arises from your craving, your desire. Yeah. So if you do any karma with cravings, then you'll get dukkha. When you crave for something and when you cannot get it, you feel sad, right? You feel disappointed, you feel angry. But if you have no cravings, then you won't feel sad or angry. So this is this is also the higher right view, the view of the Four Noble Truths. And if you don't want to have any dukkha, then you have to get rid of all your cravings. That's all. And the way to get rid of your craving is to practice Vipassana and Samadhi. With the support of your good karma and by keeping the precepts and do good karma. do charity, keep the precept, then this will make your mind ready for meditation. Okay.
So it's kind of like get the mind to putting on the mind to have a right understanding before we, do the other.
Yeah, you have to know what you want. You want happiness or you want suffering. If you want happiness, you have to do charity, you have to keep the precept, and you have to practice Vipassana, Samadhi, and Vipassana. This will give you a different level of happiness. Giving dana give you one level of happiness. Keeping the precepts give you another level of happiness. And meditate give you another level of happiness. And being able to use Vipassana to get rid of your attachment, this will give you the highest level of happiness.
Okay, so Vipassana is done by contemplating on the Four Noble Truths?
On the three characteristics of existence, to get rid of your craving, which is part of the Noble Truth. The second Noble Truth is cravings. And Vipassana is the fourth Noble Truth. The practice of Vipassana is the fourth Noble Truth.
Okay, all right, I understand. Because I was trying to study the Noble Eightfold Path, and I was trying to see how I could apply it to my daily life. So when I came across right view, I was a bit unsure, but now I understand. So it's very clear.
Okay.
Yep. And so the other factors of the Noble Eightfold Path will come once we have right view. Do they come all together, or we have to develop each one individually?
Well, when you know that if you do bad karma, it will cause you to be reborn in the undesirable realm of existence, then you stop doing bad karma. That's when you have right actions. Right action is to abstain from killing, from stealing, and adultery. And right speech, abstain from lying. So this comes after you have the right view. Then you know that you don't want to do this, you want to keep the precepts. And then you have the right effort, the effort to meditate, the effort to develop mindfulness. So when you have the right effort, then you will develop mindfulness to get the right type of mindfulness. Once you have the right type of mindfulness, then you can have samadhi. And when you can have samadhi, then you can develop the right view. That dukkha arises from your cravings. And to get rid of your craving, you have to see the object of your craving as being impermanent, as being anatta, as being dukkha. So it goes in a circle where the Noble Eightfold Path going in like a cycle.
Okay, understood, Thanajan. Thank you very much.
Johanna from Malaysia or Indonesia, Singapore, I forgot.
Good evening, Thanajan.
Go ahead.
Yes, tonight I have a question about how is the best way to practice humility, being low profile, but at the same time, we don't need to feel any less than any other people, Ajahn. For instance, for like us as a layperson, when we go working, we have to see many competition around us. So if we want to not get involved mentally and keep our peace of mind, then how is the best way to practice humility without we not having to feel any less than any other people, Ajahn?
Well, you have to think in terms of your reaction toward other people. The way to not to react to other people is to think yourself as a servant and look at everybody else as your master, as your boss. When you can do this, then you will not react to your boss, right? Whatever your boss says, you say, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes.
But you know, this is just role playing. You know, in truth, we are all the same. We have the same type of body, and our body will get sick and die the same way. So there's no difference in this in the absolute truth of ourselves. We are all the same. But in the world of role playing, we should take a lower role because it's easier to handle than a higher role.
Okay.
If you think yourself as a boss and if nobody listen to you, then you can get angry, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's the best advice. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you feel bad that you're playing servant, just tell yourself it's just playing. It's like in a theater, you know. It's like a play. You just play the role of a servant. Because it makes you feel better. You don't have to fight with other people. Because the servant doesn't have to fight with anybody.
Yes. And the Ajah's answer about like we being a servant is like the medicine for our ego. Sometimes the ego like want to fight back, but yeah, that is a very good practice. Thank you, Ajahn.
In my background noise is a little bit loud because I'm having rain right now.
Oh yeah.
So the sound might change. I have to speak maybe louder for you to. You can still hear me, all right?
Yes,
right?
but
Okay.
I can still hear Ajahn quite clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, I have to strain my voice a little bit. Just because the sound of the rain is quite loud.
It's okay, Ajahn. I still can hear Ajah's voice. And yeah.
Is that all the question you have to me?
Yes. So next, just one question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yes. Then we go to Alfredo. Alfredo from Brazil. Hi, Ubeka.
Hi, Bante. Yes, my practice is very good. My life is very calm.
Oh, very good.
Not have many things to do.
Yeah.
And I teach other people's, but not a lot. Né? Only say any things about the good a good person. Wisdom is important. The people wants to work, not other things. The people's only say about work. is different. It's different way of life, né, Bante?
That's right. Different way of making yourself happy.
Yes.
The Buddha's way is to sit still, not to do anything.
Yes.
The world way is to work, to accumulate, to make money, and multiple places to make yourself happy.
Yes.
But the Buddha way is to sit and meditate to make yourself happy.
Yes.
Which is easier, working or sitting?
It's interesting. It's interesting. I like difficult things. Okay. Difficult things is a desafio for us, né? We have wisdom. We have I like Maga. Maga for me is very completely. at times I will Vipassana with Maga, with Samadhi, Samasankapo. It's very rich, né? It's very interesting, very interesting. Good intention is very good. Good safe, good intention is very good. I like to see Loba Moza in Doha. For me, Loba Doza in Moha is the same of Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. I know that Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta is three characters of all things. Né? Anatta is very good explanation, but Loba Doza in Moha is good because we are good person with Loba Doza in Moha control.
Yes. Good. Stay on the car. Keep staying in the car.
It's a high level, but for Jana, it's very good. Very good. I don't enter, but 10 years ago I entered. It's very good. Very good. Very good experience.
All right. No questions from me today, huh?
No, thanks. Okay. Good days.
Okay. Then we go to Rusli then. Rusli, you're next. From Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. I have no question for tonight, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Darren, Neil from Singapore. Darren.
Hi, Ajahn. I have no question today. I wish Ajahn good health always.
Okay. Lillian from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajahn. Just have a short question. Sometimes when you do meditation, right, you reach like a block, like no matter how much you want to meditate, you just cannot, and you just keep on looking at the time all the time. Is it better to just let go and take a break for one day, or just insist on doing it and just keep on doing it?
If you can still insist and keep on doing it, you should keep on doing it. But you might change the practice from sitting to walking. So it might be easier and less stressful for you. Do a lot of walking meditation instead of sitting meditation.
Okay, maybe that's good. Because like what Monica was saying, I think now that the situation is getting better, there's a lot of distractions as well. So I think that could be part of the cause as well of the distractions.
Yeah, because you can do more now. Before you cannot do anything.
Yes, and there are more responsibilities now that schools are reopening and stuff. There's a lot more things coming in.
Activity, a lot more temptation also.
Yes, correct. So really need
Don't
to
do walking meditation instead.
Okay, can.
I'll just keep focusing, watching what you're doing at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like practice. It's like walking meditation. Instead of watching your feet, you're walking, you watch what you're doing. If you're brushing your feet, just keep watching you're brushing your teeth. If you're eating, just keep watching eating. And then your mind go think about other things.
Okay.
This is also practice. This is developing mindfulness. Training yourself with mindfulness.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah, you should not stop if you can help it. But if you really feel real stressful and you don't want to do any practice, okay, maybe you can change to maybe listening to Dhammatalk or reading books, Dhamma books instead for a while.
Okay.
Until you feel ready to come back and do the practice. But don't give up permanently. Okay. Just take a vacation from practice, a holiday from practice.
Okay, definitely not gonna get a holiday. Okay.
But replace with something worthwhile, like listening to Dhammatalk or reading Dhamma books.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Ricardo from Uruguay. Haven't seen you for a few weeks. How are you?
Thank you, Ajahn. Nice to talk to you. I have two questions, and one is very difficult, and I'm thinking about going in January to your temple. What are the conditions in Thailand right now to travel there?
Right now, it's still closed. I think people who comes in has to be quarantined for 2 weeks in a hotel. But I heard that they're trying to get rid of this by November. I think they want to open up the country. So we have to wait and see what the situation is by then.
Okay.
They want tourists to come in because they're running out of money. They need the money from tourists.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to if you really want, if you're serious, you should consult the Thai consulate near where you live to find out the exact situation.
All right. Okay. All right. The second question would be, you talked about 2 weeks ago about fake Vipassana, saying that we should first get Samadhi and then get into Vipassana. Yes. Sometimes I get, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I get confused because sometimes Vipassana I understand as a revelation, something that comes without thinking, right?
No, this is wrong understanding. Vipassana is studying the nature of things to see them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay.
You have to study, you have to research, you have to analyze and somehow reveal to your mind that everything is anicca, everything is anatta, everything will cause you dukkha. They don't come out by itself. It's like studying physics. You don't come out automatically. If you want to know something about physics, you have to study physics.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is a lot of people's understanding. They thought that once you have samadhi, then vipassana will come out. You'll see the Four Noble Truths. You'll see the three characteristics automatically. No, not the case. Because when you come out of samadhi, you're still attached to your body. You're still afraid of aging. You're still afraid of sickness and dying. If it comes out, then when you come out of samadhi, you should be able to let go of your body, say, this body is not me. Let it die, let it get sick, let it get old. It doesn't happen that way, right? You have to constantly teach your mind this. The body is not you, it's impermanent. You will cause you dukkha if you cling to your body.
Okay.
This is something you have to keep reminding yourself, teaching your mind, so that it can let go. And if you want to find out whether you can let go or not, you have to seek for some kind of situation that will cause fear in you, fear of your body, of losing your body. Like go stay alone in the forest, and you might be attacked by some wild animals. See how your mind reacts. If your mind has vipassana, then your mind will just feel normal. This body is not me, it's gonna die. So what?
Okay.
That's when you have real vipassana.
Okay.
But if you're still afraid of dying, still afraid of COVID-19, then this is not vipassana. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Is that all?
Yeah. To finish, I would like to thank you, Alfredo from Brazil. That through him, I got in touch with Ricardo Sasaki in Brazil. So we are getting closer, the Dhamma practitioners together. So thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Next,
Sadhu, sadhu,
okay.
sadhu.
Next, Sammy from Lebanon.
Anajan. I have a question for today. I had this experience a long time ago, and just for some reason I remember about it. There was a point in my meditation. Actually, I wasn't meditating. It just happened automatically. I just went in meditation, and I reached a certain point where I felt like if I kept going, that I cannot come back for some reason. It just felt like that. So what could that experience be about?
Well, you should use rationality and ask yourself, what do you mean by not coming back? Because your mind can play tricks on you. You can think about anything. So you don't have to believe your mind. You have to have proof before you can believe some of your prophecy, for instance. Okay. Just have an open mind. Just know that this is what your mind is telling you. But is it true or not? That's another story.
I was wondering if it could be like there's this experience called falling into the bhavanga.
No, falling into bhavanga doesn't have this kind of saying that you're not going to come back. This is your defilement. This is your mithya attitude, your wrong view. Because you always come back. Everybody, they come back from samadhi. They're not gone forever.
Yeah. Okay. I have actually another question. It's actually, I asked you that question during that on Sunday, but I was just wanted to follow on Kokseng's question regarding killing. But this one is about worms in our body. I told you about the deworming pills that I was taking, and I felt like it was an actual killing. I was wondering if it's breaking the first precept or not.
I'm not sure whether worms have any consciousness or not. They have consciousness, then I guess it is killing. But sometimes you have to choose between keeping the worm in your body or getting rid of it from your body. So I think in terms of healing your body, I think it's not considered to be killing, especially organisms in your body, like germs or viruses, for instance. But I don't know about worms. You don't have to kill them, right? You can just use something to discharge them from the body. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, I got some pills from the pharmacy. I don't know if these pills are actually killing or discharging. I should have asked. Maybe next time I go there, I will ask them.
Okay.
Okay, one more question. How do we overcome self-doubt on this path?
How become self-doubt? Doubt about ourselves, who we are.
Yes, self-doubt.
Because lack of knowledge. You have to study more from the Buddha. And the Buddha said there's no self. So then self is just a delusion that's created by the mind. So there's no self. The mind just knowing. It's a nature that knows. That thing that feels. But there's no self in this nature, this mind. It's just like the wind that blows, the water that flows. There's no self in this thing. So there's nothing in the mind. There's no self in the mind. What seems like there's a self is come from delusion and created by thinking about it. So you have to to know that there's no self. And to see this clearly is when you meditate. When your mind becomes still, then the self will disappear temporarily. Because your sanya and your sankhara stop working temporarily. So the feeling of a self will disappear temporarily. But as soon as you come out, then it starts to work again. Start to remember a self, start to think of a self again. Okay.
So in order to get rid of self-doubt, I have to meditate on anatta.
Well, first you have to meditate to get into jhana. Once you're in jhana, then the self will disappear from your mind. Then you know, this self is just something created by the mind itself. When it's active. When it's not active, then this self disappears. Then when you come out, then you have to remind yourself this truth. That whatever you think of yourself, it's just thinking. It's not self. There's no real self. Where is yourself? Is yourself in the body? It's yourself in the mind. It's in your thoughts. It's in your memory. Understand? So when you feel bad about having self-doubt, just get rid of it by stopping it by reciting the mantra.
I have doubt in being on this path, or for example, doubt that I'm ever gonna progress, or that I'm ever gonna achieve anything on this path, like this kind of doubt. So it's related to, like, I should meditate more and get into jhana to get rid of it.
Yes, you doubt because you haven't got any result from your practicing. That's because you don't practice enough. So you have to practice more and more. Eventually, when you get the result from your practice, then you have no doubt after that. Okay. All right.
Yes, thank you, Thanajan.
Okay. Next, Iri from Indonesia. Iri.
Yeah, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Today I want to ask about my meditation. When I meditate for very calm, and I feel the heart go down, and down, and there is a nimitta again. The nimitta is the old man come to me and say, if you want to my help, you can call me. And he go. When he go, my leg is jerk once, and I can see my body is sitting meditate. And I get in again. I can see my whole body born sitting here.
You should stop following your nimittas and come back to Bhutto.
Yeah.
Because you'll be fooled by what your nimitta tells you.
And when I can see my whole body, is that nimitta too, Ajahn?
When you meditate, you don't want to see anything. Just ignore everything. Come back to your mantra. Come back to your breath. Okay, stop the nimitta. You want emptiness when you meditate. You want upekkha.
And I have the feeling that the consciousness is immersed in
Same
the body.
thing. Don't pay attention to anything. Just pay attention to your mantra, your meditation object alone only. Forget about everything that appears. If not, you'll get stuck here. You won't go any further. Every time you meditate, you'll start to see nimitta, and you'll just sit there watching nimitta, like watching TV, And then you start to asking questions about your nimitta. What is this? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that is a trap, Ajahn.
So don't be attached to your nimitta. Don't pay attention to nimitta. Just pay attention to your mantra or your breath.
Yeah. Is that like mindfulness, yeah, Ajahn?
Yeah, that's right, mindfulness.
And I also want to asking, today I bought a bracelet, a hand bracelet, and I try to wear it. My hand feel black, not like when I was a young girl. So there I see my heart that is a little sad, but I told myself, hey, this body is not impermanent. Okay, I feel it's okay. When I meditate, I can use this thing to contemplate.
No,
that.
when you meditate, you just want to not contemplate. Only after you meditate, right now, you can contemplate all you want.
Like I think, okay, this is impermanence body. That is true, Ajahn.
Yes, but not when you meditate. You don't want to contemplate when you meditate, because you want get to samadhi, you want get to jhana that way.
And I want to ask, why can my husband get angry if I explain a little Dhamma to him because I see he is so stressed because of problems. So is this his karma? Is there a way to make him accept Dhamma?
No, he's allergic to Dhamma, so you should give him Dhamma. Yeah.
But luckily,
wait until he's ready. When he asks for it, then he's ready. If he doesn't ask for it, don't give it to him.
Yeah, but luckily he can accept about anicca, dukkha, anatta, because I often to say these three things to him, but he cannot accept about when he get angry to somebody. I told him, you don't get angry to another people, because the people is only like you. You have the body, he have a body too. You don't have to ask. You don't have to get angry with other. He cannot accept this explain. So he called me that, are you crazy lah? You don't talk about the body and body.
Okay.
I don't know what I mean.
Yes.
Is this related to karma, Ajahn? If somebody cannot accept Dhamma,
It's because they're not ready yet. They're not ready for Dhamma yet.
Okay. Ajahn, I have Buddha statue now in my house, and since I have Buddha statue, there is no one wake me up again in the morning, and I often late to wake up now because nobody wake me up now. What can I do, Ajahn? Nobody wake me up again.
I don't know. It's your business, not mine. I cannot solve all your problems. You have to solve your problem yourself. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Kyuyan Dong from London. Kyuyan.
Hello, Ajahn. I'm like 2 hours away from you now.
Oh, really? Where are you now?
I'm in Bangkok now.
Oh, in Bangkok?
Yes.
Okay. You're staying in a hotel right now, quarantine?
Yes, I'm in a hotel.
14 days, or how many days?
Yes, 14 days, yes.
Okay. So you can do your practice now in your hotel. You are alone now.
Yes, I couldn't imagine how good it is. What a big change. I didn't expect it, otherwise I would have turned off my video. I could feel smiling, flying, as well as I could cry today. So it's I didn't expect it, just being by myself, and it's not a good practice I've done, but it's a huge change. This
is what you want to do, is to be alone like this. So a quarantine should be no problem for Dhamma practitioner. Should be a boon, a blessing. to be able to be alone. And nobody disturb you, and they bring you food, bring you everything for you. So you don't have to do anything except practice. So I think you people should come to Bangkok. They can get 2 weeks monastic way of life right away, automatically.
I hope I can unload before I go to Salanoy, because I don't want to keep those worldly things at Salanoy. So 2 weeks would be able for me to unloading, and I kind of feel a bit hopeful. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Did you just get here today, or have you been in Bangkok a few days?
I arrived yesterday morning.
Oh, yesterday.
Bangkok time, yes. And I couldn't imagine how stupid I was. It's simple. The teaching is so simple. Why couldn't we just do it? Like, it's so simple. It sounds logic, and we know it's true, but we just couldn't do it. We keep talking about detaching. We keep talking about solitude.
I never do it.
But just
never do it. Because
and when Ajahn Nippon told me that don't teach other people, I said that no, I'm not teaching. I know nothing. I'm stupid. I'm not teaching. But actually, he's right. I was teaching. I was trying to convince my husband, my children. I was successful with my parents and my sister and her nephews, but I was not successful with my husband and my children. And I think he saw me teaching. I didn't mean to teach, but actually it was teaching, and it's in vain. It's just waste of time.
The Buddha said, teach yourself first before you teach other people.
Yeah. I didn't realize I was doing it. If I knew, I would have stopped. And if I knew it was in vain because it's anatta, then I would have done what I should have done. But later is better than never. So here I am.
You can teach other people when they believe in you, when they want to study from you, then you can teach them. But otherwise, you shouldn't try to teach them.
Yes, I was thinking, actually, I wanted to give them the best I know or the best I can or I could, but actually what I think is best is not what they think is best.
That's right.
So
for them
I have to do it for myself first.
Yeah, for them it's money and holiday and gifts and things like this. This is what they want, not Dhamma. All right.
Expensive lesson, John.
So you will leave the quarantine and go straight to the monastery.
Yes. If I have longer time, I would have come to Bat Yan, but I think this time it's tight.
Okay, no problem. We can always meet here in the Zoom meeting. No need to come here physically.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. So right now, try to take advantage of your time and try to put in as much effort as you can for the practice. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Say Yuan from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn.
Hi. Any question?
Hi. Yes, I got 2 questions. So just now Alfredo was talking about work. So yeah, I would like to ask something about work. So I want to ask Ajahn, when should you change your job, or when should you try to change your view regards to your current job if you are feeling dissatisfied? Because sometimes they say you must change a condition that is more suitable for practice of Dhamma, but sometimes the teaching says to like just stay with the conditions and try to change your view. So how to have this wisdom to see clearly on what is the best way forward spiritually?
Well, you have to weigh the options between changing and not changing the job. If changing the job is better, then you change. If changing the job is not better, then you don't change. Simple as that. Or if you change the job and it's still the same, then you can change or you don't have to change because it doesn't make any difference. So you look at the consequence of your changing the job, whether it will be better for you or worse for you or the same, then you can make the decision.
Yeah, but I think sometimes our assessment is always clouded by a lot of defilements. We think that by changing somewhere, it will get better. But a lot of times I feel we are not very clear on what is the wise assessment of the situation.
Then you don't change. You stick to the old horse, stick to the horse you know.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. We'll consider that. Okay, the second question is regards to interacting with people. Like, how do you cultivate patience to others? If like when you try to explain something and people sometimes they take longer to understand, like at work, during discussions. So how do you handle this grow patience and treat people with loving kindness?
Don't expect anything from them. When you expect them and you don't get them, you become impatient. Don't expect. Just let them be, let them react, let them absorb what you try to teach them on their own. You cannot force upon them. So don't expect anything from them.
But sometimes we need them to understand so that we can move the work along, so that we can progress at work.
But if they cannot do what you expect, then you get impatient, you get angry. But if you don't expect them to say, well, this is the way it is, then you don't get angry. And you might choose another person to do the job for you.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. We'll practice on that.
Okay. Next is Jacob Eberhard. Jacob, oh, I'm sorry. Let's get Yen Soul first. Okay, from Penang.
Good evening, Ajahn. No question today.
Okay. All right. Then I can go to Jacob then. Hi, Jake.
Hello.
From Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Ajahn, do you accept people for retreat, visitors for retreats, 3 or 10 days?
Yeah, for lay people, we can accept lay people to stay with us.
Okay. That was the only question I had, sir.
But you have to make contact first, appointment, so we know when you're coming and so forth.
Yes. Yes. It would have to be well planned out. I thank you.
Yeah, and you can contact my assistant by going to my webpage, phrasuchartlive.com. It will do the contact, and will give you the email where you can contact my assistant. And they can arrange for your visit if you should decide to come.
And how many days? Usually. Well,
first of all, you have to realize that the condition, the place where we stay is quite very austere. It's not even a house. It's just a platform with a roof and a walking path for you to do meditation. And in terms of food, you have to walk a couple of miles to come to the main monastery and to have food there. So it's quite simple, but quite
very good. I've walked across America 3 times, so I should be able to.
And if you can take the conditions that we have, normally we let people stay for 2 weeks and maybe later on extend for further if if we find we can accommodate each other, then we can extend the stay longer.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else? I think everybody has questions. So maybe I should go to Facebook for now. Do we have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, we have 9 questions from Facebook. The first question from Uma. Where one can find Arahan in Thailand? Thank you.
Well, go to the monastery, the forest monastery. Lots of Arahan around in the forest monasteries, in the forest Thai forest tradition monastery. Those who study with Ajahn Man or his disciples, they tend to be noble disciples. But not every one of them. You have takes time to discover them. It doesn't come easy. But you can ask people who know them, and maybe they can recommend you.
Next question from So Unity. Dear Ajahn, what is the difference between Anakami state and Arahan state? Very much of thanks, Sadhu.
Well, Anakami is one level lower than an Arahant. And Anakami has got rid of the 5 lower fetters, but hasn't yet got rid of the 5 upper fetters. While the Arahant has got rid of all the fetters, all the 10 fetters. You have to study the fetters if you want to know what they are. Just search in the internet for it.
Next question from Yato. Namaste, Ajahn. I'm very happy to see you. Be happy and stay healthy, Ajahn. I have a question. Sometimes when I take a meditation, I feel very happy and peaceful, but I can feel my body like empty. Is it called jhana, Ajahn? Thank you.
I don't know what it's called, and it doesn't matter. Just as long as you're happy and you're peaceful, that's good enough.
Next question from Hai Eng Il. Why is so difficult to let go of the past events? The mind likes to cling to the past and replay the events. It can drive us crazy, especially bad thoughts of fear regarding the past events.
Because you have weak mindfulness. If you have strong mindfulness, you can stop them. So try to develop more mindfulness. Keep reciting the mantra a lot. The more you can recite the mantra, the more you can control yourself.
Next question from Choleko. Dear Ajahn, I recall there is a saying that there's no out of meditation state. Even after we finish sitting meditation, it is just a change in posture. So I like to clarify, if I do brisk walking and being mindful of each step, can this become still meditation as well? Thank you.
Yes, when you're mindful, and this is considered mindfulness practice, which is part of the meditation practice. Because before you can sit and meditate and have jhana, you have to have mindfulness first. So anytime you are mindful, whether you're sitting, walking, standing, or doing something, you are practicing Dhamma already.
Next question from Sabrina. Dear Ajahn, in a lay society, how women should be treated and what are women's responsibility toward the society and raising the children? Thank you.
That depends on the society you live in. You just have to follow that society's culture or customs. Then there will be no problem. Okay.
Next question from Tony. Dear Ajahn, good evening. Buddha teaching, the higher dana offering is giving. So how about offer dana to Sangha community? Which offer is the highest offer? Thank you.
The giving of Dhamma and the giving up to the Sangha. Okay, these are 2 different things. See, when you say giving Dhamma, it means the object, the things you give, not the people who receive. So you cannot compare this with the giving Dhamma and giving to the Sangha. These are two different comparisons. It's like comparing apple to oranges. You cannot compare them this way because they are not the same. But if you want to compare giving money and giving Dhamma, then giving Dhamma is more worthwhile, more useful than giving money.
Next question from Mandy Smith. Ajahn, in walking meditation, what jhana can we achieve? Thank you.
I don't know, just keep walking. And you get what you get, so.
Next question from Tony Yep. Dear Ajahn, good evening. Every time I meditate, when I start to focus and concentrate, the restless will be occur. How can I overcome its cause? I found that because every night my sleep quality is not so good. I have a dreams. So this is the main cause of the restless. When every please kindly advise. Thank you.
It's not from your meditation, because if you meditate and you succeed, you go to sleep very quickly and you would have no dreams. So it just means that your mind is still restless, and it means you need more mindfulness. You have to develop more mindfulness.
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay, we have a new visitor or participant in Paul Westbury. Hi, Paul. Can you? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Unmute. Okay. Yes, I was going to ask about the maybe comparison or maybe the wholesomeness of Deva Nusati. And I know in Thailand, sometimes there can be extra superstition and things around the devas and different maybe supernatural beings. And in the West, we have such a scientific point of view that it's very materialistic. So how can we find a balance with this type of practice? And another thing is I know that sometimes the different devas, or if we look at a certain type of person and we think, oh, they're unwholesome, like mythological like creature, then this can be very unwholesome as well. I'm wondering how can we find like a balance in maybe in Deva Nusati.
Well, first you have to know devas. You have to know who they are. If you don't know who they are, how can you focus on them or recollect or think of them? So you have to find a deva that you know that inspires. And the Buddha said that the noble disciple can be also considered to be devas also.
Oh, okay.
So you can think of the Buddha as a deva also.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah.
Or Ajahn Man, if you're inspired by Ajahn Man, just think of Ajahn Man. Or Ajahn Cha, if you're inspired by Ajahn Cha, you can consider them to be devas also because of their holiness, their goodness. And when you think of them, it calms your mind down.
Oh, I see.
Maybe
okay, so if
the Dalai Lama, for instance, is quite popular. Maybe he can become a deva to you also.
Oh, I see. So these things have to kind of come naturally.
Yes, you have to know the devas. You have to know the devas. If you like Vishnu, if you know who Vishnu is, and you think of Vishnu and makes you happy, then you can use that Vishnu as your deva nusati.
Oh, is this necessarily a trained perception? Like, can we train to like? We don't want to lie that we are seeing something like that, but maybe have creative thinking that these things exist.
Well, you have to know these things before you can use them. If you don't know them, then you cannot use them as a point of reflection. Maybe
yes, it's very.
Maybe this is applicable more in during the time of the Buddha, when they know all these devas. So this deva Nusati was part of the collection of Kammatthana. But in our modern society, we don't talk about these devas anymore. So it will be difficult for us to use deva as an object of reflection or meditation.
Okay. Yeah. It's very good reflection to reflect on. Maybe Ajahn Chah, I always feel like I have connection with Luang Por Cha, and I don't know, but just thinking about the good qualities of.
That's right. Anything just to anchor your mind and calm your mind down. Then you can use them as the object of meditation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anybody else would like to ask any question? If you do, please raise your hand. Okay, Evie.
Hello, Ajahn. Ajahn, I want to ask. When I am watching the breath, my mind is at work. I know it is thinking. I know that. What should I do? Force it not to think?
No,
Sometimes
just ignore the thinking. Just focus on your meditation object. When you first start, there will be a wall between these two things, your thought and your concentration. But as you keep on concentrating, then eventually your thought will stop by itself. You don't have to force it to stop. The more you force it to stop, the more it will keep thinking.
Yeah, sometimes I let it wander, but I still know it until the mind starts to tired and stop on its own. But it takes a long time. Sometimes my legs start to hurt, and this become a new problem.
Because your mindfulness is not strong enough. So you have to train more in mindfulness before you sleep, before you meditate.
Yeah, I should stick and focus to the breath like a laser, or Buddha like a laser in one point.
You should do this before you meditate also. Just keep watching your body, stop thinking. Or keep reciting the mantra even before you meditate. Then when you meditate, you can calm your mind down very quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to ask, does every meditator have a nimitta, Ajahn?
No. Well, it depends on how you define nimitta. But every meditator will have something in the mind when you meditate. Maybe a sound, maybe a picture, maybe a feeling or something. But this, you can ignore them and just keep focusing on your meditation object.
A person who has nimitta like me in meditation is more dangerous than a person who doesn't have nimitta, right?
Probably, because then you become distracted. When you have nimitta, then you're not doing your work. Instead of watching your breath or reciting the mantra, you follow your nimitta. You keep watching your nimitta.
Okay, Ajahn, I will try tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else would like to ask any question? You're welcome to do it. I guess not. Paul again? Okay. Go ahead, Paul.
Yes, Ajahn, going on the subject of nimitta, is it true that some teachers train to develop certain nimitta, maybe specifically a visual one, so that the teacher can train the student in the way that they're familiar with?
Well, it depends on the level of your practice. If you're practicing Vipassana, then you can force nimitta to appear in your mind, like the skeleton of corpses, and keep the mind watching this thing until it becomes embedded in the mind. So you can use this for Vipassana purpose. You want to see the dissolution of the body, the changing of the body. then you can create this nimitta in your mind. You have to force this nimitta to come up. Or like the skeleton of the skull. Right now we don't see the skull because we keep seeing just the skin that covers the skull. So you want to see the skull in order to let go of your sexual desire for good-looking faces. Right?
Yeah, I heard recently. I think Ajahn Piak, I think his name. Yeah, and he says that he trained the perception so that everywhere he went, he only saw the skeleton everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
This will then stop your sexual desire from coming up. Because you don't want to see the skeleton, right?
Yeah, this will be a good contemplation, and the starting of this is the Kesa Loma.
Not necessarily. Maybe it's better to do it in your own language because you can then see the picture clearer. If you use Pali, then you might not understand what you're reciting. Maybe the translation will be better. Hair of the head, hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, bones, skeleton, heart, lungs, and so forth.
Okay. And do we start with the 5, or do we have? Do we start with just the 5 when we are beginning?
Yeah, go through the 32 parts. First by name, then by visual, then by visual. Try to see each part mentally, how they look like. And then if you find any parts interesting for you and help you calm your mind or your sexual desire, then you can choose that particular part as the object of your contemplation or Vipassana.
Okay. Yes, I find a very familiarity with the teeth because when I was young, I had broken teeth, and it scared me and scared my family, and something I can feel like I can come to very quickly.
Okay. But you want something repulsive so that your desire, your sexual desire don't come up.
Okay.
That's the purpose of contemplating the body, is to stop your sexual desire.
Okay.
That's one of the objects. The other object is to see the temporariness of the body. Then sooner this body will decompose and return to the element.
Okay. I will have to get a little bit more familiar. It's easy to forget this type of practice in the regular world.
Because the defilement keep preventing you from looking at these things. Your defilement wants you to look at good-looking things. It doesn't want you to look at disgusting or repulsive things.
Can I look at these things with, for instance, at work, I work with chicken all the time, raw chicken. Can I see this in the chicken too?
You can do it anytime. Yeah, but chicken doesn't mean much to you. You should look into human, especially the opposite sex. The person who arouses your sexual desire. That's the person you want to see. You want to look into under her skin or his skin.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Kyrian Dong. Kyrian.
Ajahn, I just wanted to add a comment. Thank you very, very much for your teachings. Sometimes I don't know how to put it, like you refuse to answer questions on Nibbana, and you are not, and you are ready to answer our questions, sometimes like very stupid questions, but it's just like you're not afraid. I was sometimes I think, oh, you're not afraid of showing to the world how stupid your so-called students are. Not to just to convert like how you are, and I'm so thankful for that, because you actually helping us resolving our problems, and you're not afraid of showing how stupid your students are.
I'm not showing. They are showing you. You are showing yourself.
So,
you are showing yourself. I'm not the one who's showing how stupid you are.
Yes, we are, and we're just showing how many problems we are, and we have, and just like really how stupid we are.
Which is good. This is humility. You know? This is showing humility, showing that you're stupid. Accept that you're still stupid is better than thinking that you're smart.
Yes.
Because when you say you're smart, then you don't want to learn from anybody, right?
Yeah, but some teachers would love to talk about Nibbana, how good Nibbana, what Nibbana is, whatever. But you refused, not just once, many times you refused to talk about Nibbana. And
because maybe because I don't know what Nibbana is. So what can I say?
Ajahn, thank you very, very much for that, enduring our problems.
All right. Okay, I think we have spent quite enough time for tonight, almost 2.5 hours. If there's no more question, I think I will then have to bring this meeting to an end. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting will benefit you somewhat and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and be happy, and keep practicing the Dhamma. Until the next time, goodbye for now. Take care.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Sadhu. Thank you, admin. Thank you, admin. Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Amin. Thank you, Kunla.
Thank you.
Spi and
Have a good
Felicia.
time, QN.
你好。